What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. It's my birthday weekend, baby. And I am fired the freak up. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra. Man, I had a great day to start already. I had a CrossFit class at 5 o'clock. I was fired up. Had one of the best times. Oh, man, let me tell you. They came in and looked at my score like, whoa, man, that was a great score. My birthday weekend. I'm fired up. What do you expect? Listen, thanks for tuning in, man. Sorry about that. My bad. I just got all fired up. Sometimes, you get a little freaked out when you get fired up. Anyway, thanks for tuning in again. I'm your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra. And listen, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, then I guess you found us on Facebook. You could also be watching this on the app. Guess what? We're live on the app. I think that is freaking awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. Want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. She'll be here in a little moment. She's getting ready. You know women. I mean, you know how they gotta be acting. You know how they be acting. She gotta take her time. She got her hair did. So she's primming and prepping. She'll be out in a second. But I want to say what's up to my man, the Wiz himself, our Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa, with your crazy ass?
That's right, baby. That's right. Baby. Today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day. No more excuses. No more excuses. But no, I'm pumped for today, man. Pumped for today, opening day. Yesterday was kind of cool. I watched majority of the Yankee game until it got postponed, or not postponed. It stopped. It got delayed, and then I watched some of the Dodger game, but it was those West Coast games, man. Like 9 o'clock. I'm done. Dude. I'm like
3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm done. I don't give a crap. It could be World Series Game 7. I might pass out. Like it's just too. It's too much. You have to stay up too late. I'll rewatch it in the morning.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good to have baseball back. A little weird with no fans, but I'll tell you what, it was fun. Miguel, we got a text from Miguel. He's joined us already. Go Cubs, go! Apparently, he's been drinking this morning already. Miguel, say no to alcohol before 9:15. Trust me, it's not good for you. It'll kill your brain cells. Well, listen, guys. We have a great show, but I need you to get interactive with us today. So give us a quick text, give us a quick shout out like Miguel did right there on Facebook. Okay, give us a quick text, and we want to incorporate your thoughts, your questions in our show. Okay, we want to do that. We love when you guys comment. We love when you guys are part of the show, and want to make sure that your voices are heard. We got a great show, man. 10 o'clock. Oh, Miguel says National Tequila Day. Well, alrighty then.
Hey,
at 10 o'clock, we have our guy, Bob Nightingale from USA Today Sports calling in. What other guy we're going to talk to on opening day but Bob Nightingale? Come on now. So Bob Nightingale is going to call in. We're going to talk a lot about baseball. Opening day, opening night last night, opening day, Comcast with the Cubs, Comcast with the Marquee Network, I should say. Mookie Betts' deal. Woo, we got a lot to talk about with Bob Nightingale. So Bob Nightingale at 10 o'clock and at 10:30 to close out the show, to close out the week. Brandon Scoop B. Robinson from down the bubble in Orlando. Hopefully he's wearing his mask and not stepping outside of the bubble to get a five guys burger. Hopefully not. We'll see. But that's what it is. So listen, we're fired up. So listen. Uh-oh. There she is. I want to say what's up. I want to bring her on. My co-host, the co-pilot in this insanity, the one, the only, the incomparable.
I think Sean froze.
Right. I was like, wait. Is it me?
I was waiting for the drop.
Right. I was like, is it me? Because, I've been having like a funky time with the upgrades on my computer. So I was like, oh, come on now. So
right.
All right, so I was like, oh. No, I'm like, because Ivan is still moving. I was like, so it isn't me, it's Shawn. Hey, everybody.
It's Shawn.
It's not me, it's Shawn. See, it's never me, it's Shawn. Anyways, you can always follow me on Facebook and Twitter at The Sports Chica, and of course, Instagram, Maya_Akai. So there you have it. As we're waiting for Shawn to rejoin us, I have no idea what Shawn was saying in the midst of all that. That's funny.
No, we're just discussing, opening day. Opening days today.
Oh, and the technology.
He was giving you that drum roll.
He was, and it was like
he was building you up, but then there he goes. There he is.
Shawn, I said, I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Shawn, but Ivan was still talking, so I knew it was you.
So yeah, what's up? Did they introduce you?
We did all that.
Little savage yourself.
You know what? See, that's exactly.
That's what I was talking about. I was waiting for like the big introduction.
I have now.
Boom, boom, and then
I put on a StreamYard filter, so now when you go to say "Little Savage," it's gonna block you out.
It cuts me off.
It's gonna be like,
oh, you're a wild girl. You're a wild girl.
Wouldn't that be great if I could just mute everything that people have to say? All right, and the party goes on. All right, so come on, let's get going. It's Friday.
Fire freak up, baby. Look at this video. Yeah, I see you, Maya. We see you, Southside. South. Yeah, we're starting this on the South Side.
That's right.
Hey, that don't belong to you.
Hey, well, listen, guys, we're having a ball. We're gonna keep having a ball for the next 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours. But you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning Tea, and these are the hot topics of the night before, just for sports in general. And you know what? They're powered by the Chicago Crusader newspaper. And we want to bring on our guy. He's another one of Ivan's people, but he's pretty cool for one of those people. He's a Cub fan. Before you get any crazy, even when he says anything crazy, let's bring him out, my man, Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa?
Good morning, guys. How you doing? God bless.
Look at you, all scholarly.
I'm like, whoa, all fancy.
Artistic in it. Excuse me, Mr. Dang. Oh,
where you think you are?
This is my Dr. Evil look. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
No, I like his fly. His fly.
The versatility. I see you, Papa. I see you.
This is post-marriage.
She's upgrading you. Is that what you're saying? Oh, she was like, Joseph, if you're going to be out there repping me, I'm going to need you to step your game up.
Come out in a bathrobe on me. Just like.
All right.
You look very neo-ish.
Yeah, interesting. It does kind of have that.
Wait for him to open up his thing and have fucking guns and everything, all in his thing.
Joseph looks like he's about to ask me to join the Matrix and stuff.
Which pill?
I just got to say the red pill or the blue pill.
It's the Cubs, baby. You gotta choose the blue, baby.
Hey man, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. We're gonna have a good time. As you see, we are having a wonderful time today. But you know what? Here we go. Top of the morning topics. Man, first one. What can we do? Opening day, baby. Last night was opening night. That was nice. It was cool. Had some teams play. I'm not really worried about them. I'm worried about today, opening day. White Sox today, 7:10. Cubs kicking it off at 6:10. And guess what? Starters for the White Sox. Lucas Giolito, and I think well-deserved opening day starter for the Cubs. The professor himself, Kyle Hendricks. Your thoughts, Joseph?
Wow. Everybody's been waiting for this since COVID-19. So I know White Sox fans are pumped. I know Cubs fans are pumped. I know the fans that aren't going to be there are pumped. So it's just
which is all of them. But anyways.
But at the end of the day, you're going to see two of the best Major League Baseball pitchers, one in Lucas Giolito, who had an amazing season last year, especially in the first half. He was dominant, unstoppable. I mean, I'm talking about just over 5 pitches. I mean, he was just dominating the opposition. And with Kyle Hendricks, he's coming in there. As you know, his last outing against you guys, he had 4 scoreless innings, and then he gave up those additional 2 hits, which led to the rally. But it was still a good start after a layoff since COVID-19.
It's very true. I mean, you come in – I will agree with what Shawn said. There is no way that for the Cubs there could be any other starter. That's fair. It has to be Hendricks. I think that everyone in their rotation, he is the best. And I'm going to say the same thing about with the Sox. As it stands right now, Lucas Giolito is the best pitcher on the squad. So hence, you can't pass it off to anybody else. Nobody else can be there. So I'm perfectly cool with how that shakes out with the two of them starting, just based on, obviously it's based on last year. So you got to go with it. But I'll tell you what, I saw enough in the summer camps to say that it might get real interesting on the South side when it comes to pitchers. Because I'm telling you, I took a deep breath on Rodon. I did. I was like, okay. I was like, this little extra time might be exactly what he needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He only got a little inconsistent as he got deeper, but that makes sense. I mean, a lot of the starters aren't going to probably be pitching beyond 5, 6 innings, to be honest. He looked good. Keiko was like, so I'm like, I'm ready. This could be a whole different conversation come next year. But for now, every game counts. The White Sox have to come out the game and make a statement game against the Twins because everybody feels that's the team in the division that is the best poised to do well. So I'm saying they need to come out with a statement game. Giolito needs to pitch big. They need to hit big.
No hitter.
It needs to be, remember Lucas Giolito last year.
And as Shawn was saying, so Giolito last year.
I like the ventriloquist and puppet move right there. Like Shawn just froze like this.
Yeah. But no, it's true. So to me, when you look at these matchups, the Cubs are the Cubs. Expectations that they're going to play well. They're a good team. Nobody really questions that they're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? The White Sox actually come into the season with a little bit of expectation that this is supposed to be the season, not exactly the way we expected it, that they should be a better team than they've been in the last 3, like let's say 3 seasons, because they were rebuilding. Right. So this was a season they were supposed to go into free agency and pick up those veteran pieces, and they did with like Encarnacion, Grandal, obviously, Keuchel. They went and did all those things they were supposed to do, and the timing was right. So there's an expectation that they're going to perform at a higher level, and the Twins are the team that they have to beat. And we haven't even gotten into talking about when Shawn gets back into talking about the playoff system that was revealed last night, which becomes very advantageous for a team like the Sox if they come out the gates playing at a high level.
That's right, and I totally agree. You guys have an opportunity of a lifetime to actually make the playoffs, and then in addition to making the playoffs, you guys can do it in dominant fashion. If you can win, like I said, get out to like a 10-1 start, I think you can actually win the division if you like you said, take advantage of these series, these up and coming series, because everything will be great about a small margin when it comes to winning these divisions.
You mentioned earlier about Lucas Giolito. Remember last year he went 7 strong. He's 7 no-hit innings strong to start off the season last year, and he made a big statement to start the season last year, his first start. And you know what? We need another big statement from him this year. Maybe not a no-hitter, but he's got to lock people down. You got to lock them down like they're in Alcatraz, not lock them down. And then the big bats got to come up because you know what? This is the team that people are talking about. They hit 650,000 home runs last year. The Twins did. So you know what? You got to come up and say, hey, listen, if you can tame that lineup, if you can or go power for power, I think it's a good statement. We have 7, maybe 8 guys in that lineup. After Nick Madrigal got sent back down to the minors, we have about 7 guys in that lineup who are dangerous, really, really dangerous. So I think that we need to come out. We need to come out swinging. We need to score in every possible way, with the long ball, with small ball, with moving the guys over, with everything. I think the White Sox really need to make a statement this opening series. Take 2 out of 3. And man, it would be great if they swept them, but 2 out of 3. I'll take 2 out of 3 because you know what? That's 40-20. Right. That's 40-20. I'll take 2 out of 3. And like Ozzie said back in 2005, he goes, we don't need a 13, 14, 20 game winning streak. He goes, just win series. Win series, take 2 out of 3. He goes, and you'll see. He goes, you're going to start those wins add up quickly. So I'm looking forward to that for my good guys.
I agree. I totally agree. Like I said, you guys got everything you need. I got a leadoff hitter, 2-hole hitter, situational hitter, cleanup hitter. Y'all got a DH. And the beautiful thing, the DH is coming to both leagues now. So it's kind of like, everything is set for the American League to really just dominate. And I believe that you can sneak up on people because nobody really knows your lineup. And that's an advantage for you. Actually, that was an advantage for the Cubs back in 2015, 2016. You throw a pitch down the middle thinking that a guy going to take a pitch, and then it's out of the ballpark. So, like I said, I can't wait to see both teams perform today, especially the White Sox, because I've really been writing about them, and I want to show them some love this season because they showed us a little love during 2016, so I'm going to show them a little love during 2020.
Okay. Well, the next top of the morning topic, guess what? We're going to stay in baseball. The Cubs in the midnight hour. Actually, it was last night. It wasn't even this morning. Signed a deal with Comcast for the Marquee Network to air on Comcast, and that would have been disastrous for the team on the north side had they not been able to get it done. Would have been reminiscent of the LA Dodgers back a couple of years ago when they had their own station, their home provider. Everything was Time Warner out in California and in SoCal. They couldn't strike an agreement, and 90% of Dodger fans could not watch the Dodgers at home.
Unfortunate. So as you just broke the news, with no time to spare, the Chicago Cubs' new television network called Marquee has a last-minute agreement with Chicagoland's largest cable provider, Comcast, to air their games. Now, the deal will allow fans in the Chicago market to watch the Cubs as soon as tonight, when the team hosts the Brewers, our hated rivals, in its season opener. And as I said last week, Crane Kenney will get the deal done, and eventually he closed the deal. And he stated it was, quote, a complicated negotiation. Usually there needs to be a catalyst. I said in January, it was like either going to be the beginning of spring training or the beginning of the regular season as the catalyst to get something done. And in the words of Crane Kenney, get her done. Let's do it.
You got her done.
But I'll be honest. I think part of this was a breakup. Remember, this was a separation. It was a breakup. So the Cubs were leaving. They were part of that whole Comcast group and decided we want to do our own thing, and they broke away. Obviously, not keeping in mind that there was going to be a need for what Comcast could provide. So I kind of feel that Comcast just really stretched it out just because they could. And they also wanted, as you noticed, start launching their new network. And they came in like, we are the home of White Sox, Bulls, Blackhawks. And then got new studios, and they've been rubbing it in. You know what I mean? And then they said, okay, now we'll strike a deal with you. So I kind of think there was a little bit of animosity, so to speak, because they broke away from the pack. I honestly think, other than that, what other reason to me would it take so long to put a deal in place for this? They really had them over a barrel. They needed them. Those summer games, people were like, how can I find to watch the Cubs? People had no idea how to find them. And you know what? That's exactly what Comcast wanted that to feel like. That's why I think there was no sense of urgency to wrap that deal up quickly.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like I said, when I knew when the Cubs announced it that they were going to have their own network, I knew there were going to be some problems because first thing people said, okay, well, where's this network on the air? Do you have to pay for it? Is it going to be tied into the cable companies? Nobody really knew. It was kind of up in the air. So now was pretty much once was a dream. Now it's come to fruition, and let's play some baseball.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. I'm glad they got it done. Happy for you guys. I'm usually not too happy for you guys. Not happy at all. But anyway, I'm happy for you guys. You get to see your team. They came to a deal. And I think you're right.
We got the cash out.
Yeah, you got some extra money. That's a nice stream of revenue you got there. But I agree with you, Mike. I think they're being petty. I think they're just being petty. Like, oh, okay, fine. Had the season started regularly, I think they would have had a deal done. When the regular start of the season was supposed to happen. But since it didn't, I think it just gave Comcast more. Like, okay, well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. And I just really think it was going to be a last-minute deal regardless. They're just being petty.
And it's interesting because I'm looking at, to me personally, I don't see the need for a separate network. I really don't. Now, there were times where there could be some conflict in game starts, but how Comcast solved that was either a game would be on GM or there was a Comcast Plus that would just put the game on another channel. That was it. So it wasn't like you never got to see your game. But this to me, besides money, not that the Cubs are not making enough money between rooftops, hotels, everything they've done to Wrigley Field to make it conducive to be there, it's not like they're making money. But I felt like, well, let's be honest. If the Yankees can have the Yes Network, and if, the Dodgers can have their network, well, I feel like we have to have a network too. Because here's the thing, from a programming standpoint, we've talked about this. It's going to be crappy what's going to be on when baseball is not on. You're going to probably be seeing like Eastern Illinois football games and weird stuff like that. I don't know.
And reruns of Cub games, which Cub fans will love, depending on the game.
Depending on the game, but I mean, from a content standpoint, they're going to have to figure out, look, you don't get to tap into the Bulls. You don't get to tap into the Blackhawks. I don't know. Maybe they'll strike a deal with the Sky or something. Because outside of that, why you laugh? No, I'm just kidding.
I
don't know. Maybe they'll strike a deal with the Fire. I'm just saying. But remember, one of the things that I did talk about was what I thought would be an interesting relationship to attempt for them to forge would be to go to HBCUs and say, you have a lot of transplants, a lot of people who were from Chicago who went to HBCUs and people who went to HBCUs who moved to Chicago. Let's air some of your games, especially now with you seeing a shift and a lot of young Black talent choosing HBCUs over traditional schools. I think a way to bring more people in to be viewers would be go strike a deal with those schools. Obviously, like the MEAC and the SWAC, they don't have the means at this point to have a network yet. Right. So why not get ahead of the curve and say, let us air some of your games and give you more exposure?
Yep.
That's my thought. You can pay me later.
Totally agree.
You can pay me later, Theo. Anyways.
Well, the next top of the morning topic, we're staying with baseball since it is opening day, and I'm excited about it. 16 teams to make the playoffs in an expanded postseason. I'll tell you what, I am fired up, and I think that will solidify the White Sox place in the postseason this year with the expanded 16 teams. I think that's awesome. I think that it's going to be as long as they continue to progress like we saw them last year. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be in the playoffs. They might even win the division, but I'm saying I think now with that expanded, I think they'll be able to almost secure their spot in the playoffs in the postseason. And you know as well as I do, Maya and Joseph, once you get to the postseason, anything can happen.
Right. That's when you were having a mental mind stretch and you had to go off screen to go stretch your mind a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things I mentioned. And I said, we haven't talked about it yet. I said, but that 16 game, that team, I said, that literally really opens up a spot for the White Sox if they come out playing good baseball. MLB just made it that much easier for them to really make a playoff appearance in this, obviously truncated, abbreviated season. So I think for teams like the White Sox, this is going to be really interesting for those tight divisions, even like for the Cubs divisions, because we said that's kind of like a three-way race, if you think about it, with the Cubs, the Brewers, the Cardinals. I'm sorry, more than that, the Reds. I mean, you've got a lot going on in that respective division. That now for them creates an opportunity to make the playoffs. If it's not them, they can be right there behind it because of that setup.
If I could just say one thing, this makes it so much more important to win the division. It makes it that much more important to win the division, to be a top seed, because now you're talking about a break. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be thrown into that first round of 16 right away. You're gonna have a break, so your pitchers get a rest. You know what I mean? Your players get a rest, especially after a season that's a sprint of a season that you're just you're going after wins. You got to go for it all. You got to go for it. To have a little break is huge.
Wow. Yeah. So if you look at the first round matchups, there'll be best of 3. Okay, at the home teams, all 3 will be at the home team's stadium. So if you're the last seeded team, you don't get any playoff games, and that's fine. I mean, it's a 1-year deal. It's just a crazy year, and that's just the cards you're dealt the cards. We're all dealt these cards, and you got to deal with it. But you don't want to have to play all 3 games in a visiting stadium and win 3 games or 2 games out of those 3. It's going to be tough. So, you definitely want to win the division, and then from there after that, the divisional round's the best of 5. And then the AL, the CS, and the World Series, those are 7 games. So the first round was where you can see some upsets. Okay, second round it gets back to normal, but the division, the league championship series, both of them, and the World Series will be 7, so that'll be normal, not just like we've had for the longest time. So that'll be pretty cool. But I really hope to see the White Sox in there. And I'll tell you what, how great would that be? I mean, we haven't had it very often where the White Sox and the Cubs are both in the playoffs, and that how crazy is that? And
it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet, so let's not jinx it.
No, but it happened once, I believe, a few years ago. But I'd like that. That to me, is progress. Okay, because the Cubs have had that success. The Cubs are still in their window, despite what some people think. The White Sox they're opening their window. If we can continually get Sox and Cubs in the playoffs together, it just makes it makes the city jump. All right, the city's jumping when there's good baseball, because good baseball leads into, in a regular year, it leads into basketball and football season, football in particular. And you have both teams in playoffs. You got the Bears starting, then right after that you have the Bulls and the Hawks starting, and everything's jumping. And you're getting right at the end of summer when, again, a normal year, end of summer when the Chicago summertime shy comes alive, and now you got playoff baseball. And it's a great thing. And you know what? I look forward to seeing the next few years, starting with this year, hopefully, that we have a constant participation in the postseason from both teams.
Wow, I can't wait. I know it's going to go down. Red Line Series. Telling you now, we get out to a good start, both teams. Versus Sox in the World Series. You never know what would happen, especially when it comes to pitching matchups. If you guys get the advantage in your series with pitching matchups and somebody go down, there's some injuries happen, and same thing for us. Everybody needs breaks in between. I know the Cubs got a few breaks in the route to their 2016 World Series, and I know the Sox got a lot of breaks en route to their 2005 World Series.
A lot of breaks. Really?
Yeah,
really?
A lot of breaks.
Really? Yeah. I remember
well, you pretty much got your World Series handed to you because the Indians took a 3-game lead and gave it away. So, whatever. So,
but anyway, I just want to say I want both teams to make it. I think the Sox will do well, and I think the Cubs are going to do well. It all depends on how they jump out. First, we got to take care of our division rivals. You guys hate the Twins, and we hate the Brewers. So let's just do each other a favor and sweep both teams.
You know what? That's a great thought, Joseph. I never thought of it that way. We can really help each other out. We can knock off the Brewers, the Cardinals, the Reds. Okay, while for you guys, you knock off the Twins, Indians, and you're not gonna have the Tigers and the Royals. Really aren't gonna be much, but you knock off the Twins and the Indians, and we can. We'll be civil.
We can work together. We can work together, y'all. We can do this. Look.
Mine's up there like hell no.
Look. I have to say there is a method to this madness and what he's talking about. It's about winning. So unfortunately, this is something that I'm going to have to agree with because it's advantageous for my team. But when we talk about beyond that, then no.
Remember, it's a crazy year, Maya. It's a crazy year right now, and in this crazy year, hey, depending on the year, enemies become friends. You know how our government is. You can be mad at one country one day, and next week they're friends.
Well,
they're allies.
Trump is bipolar. Don't be in that conversation like that with that man. No, yeah. This is going to be the season that's going to be like no other season. Like I watched baseball last night. I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah, of course, because I just wanted to see the Dodgers. I had to see that. I wanted to check out Mookie Betts and just kind of see how that fits. The Giants are in a very different situation, so I wanted to see how they looked. Then the rain out, unfortunately, for Washington and New York. New York again, big by New York. Giancarlo, this is probably his bounce back year. He wasn't everything people wanted last year. I don't think that's going to be a problem this year. Seriously.
No, he's like, hold on, let me hit the first.
Let me remind you why I left Miami. Boom. Yeah. So I don't know.
Hey, well, listen, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we have more top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here with us, Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Quicken Loans presents the Sports Flash, driven by Jeep on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. Opening day for the Cubs tonight, 6:10 first pitch at Wrigley Field against the Brewers. Kyle Hendricks faces Brandon Woodruff. The White Sox are home against the Twins, 7:10 first pitch. Lucas Giolito gets the nod. He'll battle the Twins, Jose Barrios.
Cut on and line to left field. Has a base hit down the line. Cut off in the corner by Stevenson. As Wade rounds third, coming home, the throw is cut off. It's a double for Judge, a ribby double.
That's John Sterling on the Yankees radio network in a rain-shortened opening day matchup at Washington. 4-1 the final. Garrett Cole held the Nats to just one hit, while the Yankees battered Max Scherzer for 6. The Dodgers exploded for 5 runs in the 7th and added 2 in the 8th to beat the Giants 8-1 at Dodger Stadium. Kike Hernandez with a 2-run blast. Blue Emu promises no chill, no burn, no odor, just what you need to soothe tired muscles and joints. The Sports Flash is driven by Jeep. Chuck Sanders, 1330, 95.9 The Zone.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents. And Doug.
Breathe out and repeat after me. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Your bird is eating my candles.
Your bird is eating my candles.
No, seriously, he's making a mess.
No, seriously.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Hey, save that bee. We need him.
Did you know pollinators are more than just honeybees? Did you know 1 in 3 bites of food is made possible by pollinators? That's why Prairie View A&M Cooperative Extension is planting for pollinators this summer. Design your own pollinator garden. Take photos and share. Visit agnearme.com. That's agnearme.com to download our pollinator garden guide today. Let's get planting.
Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. See on the screen is my lovely co-host, the one, the only, Little Savage herself, Maya Kai, with her Peg Bundy background. I love it. I love it. I love it. and my man from the Chicago Crusader, their sports editor, Joseph Phillips, smack dab in our top of the morning segment. Well, you know what the next top of the morning topic? Woo-wee. Seattle. The NHL has added another team, and the Seattle's new NHL team is now called the Seattle Kraken. Release the Kraken!
I love it. I love it.
So do I.
Kraken.
You have no idea how much.
Kraken. Tell them, Joseph. Get it, Kraken, Seattle.
I mean, they don't. That's an awesome name. I say the Kraken all the time. I'm like, oh my God, someone really thought about this. How awesome that's just, somebody gave it some thought. I like it. I like it a lot.
The logos are badass too. You got the S with the eye up in the first curve, and inside the S is like a tentacle.
It's awesome.
Great. Another one's an anchor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the NHL they knocked this one out of the ballpark. I'm not gonna lie. Uniforms, the logos, yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy something. I'm gonna have to buy a T-shirt or something because I just love it. I'm like, good thought. I don't know who came up with that, but I was like, apparently did someone watch Clash of the Titans?
And I'm telling you, so as soon as that happened, when it came across the board, I went to Ivan, you got to go to YouTube. I said, you got to get Clash of the Titans. I said, there's 2 versions. All right, there's 2 versions. Yeah. One's in 81 and one's in 2010.
You want the 81?
And yeah, and check it out. You know what? Here's the promo video that the NHL let out yesterday. Ivan, we got that for us, Papa?
And now, for our fans and for all of you, the wait is finally over. So what do you say we get it on? She's been with me at all major announcements, and this young lady plays for the Washington Wild. Jana represents the future of hockey in our community, and we thought rather than the stiff CEO doing this, we'd let her have a moment, all right? So she gets to sort of utter the big words, and I'm going to let her come up here and call it out.
The Seattle Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
Love it. I love it. Okay. That little promo thing kind of gave me chills. I love it.
Music.
It kind of gave me some goosebumps. Like if you've ever been to Seattle, that's Seattle. I mean, obviously it's a ocean town. I mean, beautiful though.
Town, yeah.
But I mean, they didn't. She didn't get it right. She was supposed to be like, "Release the Kraken." What's wrong with the girl?
Yeah, she didn't have that voice. They should have had Liam Neeson there and in costume. Release the Kraken.
Love it. Great promo.
It should have been "Let's get it cracking." You know, like somebody should have came out.
That's a hip hop version.
Gary Payton should have came out.
That's the grunge. Seattle's the grunge town.
Okay.
So the Release the Kraken work, but you have to get like Gary Payton or somebody.
Rain Man, something.
Yeah, to kind of get it cracking, kind of thing. But
you know what would have been really funny?
What's that?
If Steve Largent would have come out and said, "Let's get it cracking."
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Senator, Congressman.
What about Griffey?
KG, right?
Junior, someone. Let's get it cracking.
Somebody.
Well, eat your own. Have him say it in Japanese. Let's just go all out. Let's run it. Let's just run the yard with it. That actually would sound pretty fly in Japanese for some reason. I don't know why. Something cracking. You'd be like, "What did he just say?" But anyways, excellent promo. I love it. I think it's hot. Now, hopefully, you know what? Hopefully they'll get that momentum like Vegas had coming out the gates. Amazing first season with Vegas, and they've managed to have good momentum. So good for Seattle. Now let's get the Supersonics back. Come on.
Yes.
Let's get the Supersonics back. And it's like, Seattle, you're back in the mix, and you guys have something to be happy about because they need some sun. They definitely, and you know what? That's a good logo because Seattle's a beautiful town, but it's really dreary and rainy. That's not a lie. It rains so much there. I can see why they are perpetually sad a lot in Seattle. But you know what? That logo and that fits them. It fits them very well.
I've never been to Seattle. That's one place I want to be. I want to go to the pier where they throw the fish and catch it in the paper.
Right there, the Puget Sound. It's nice. And when you go to, I was there for a business thing years ago. So Safeco Field is right across the field, which is a really, really nice stadium. The only thing that took me back about Safeco Field is they're really into like these garlic fries, and the whole stadium smelled like garlic.
Yo, garlic fries are the bomb. I live there.
Okay.
Garlic fries are really, really good.
No. They're the bomb. But when the whole stadium smells like garlic, I'm like, there'll be no vampires up in this piece. I was like, because it was strong. That's how much they cook them. I was like, Jesus Christ. But then right across from Safeco is Quest. So it's like the area, I guess, used to be a rail yard, and they converted it like into a sports complex. Really nice.
That's awesome.
Really nice area. So yeah, check out Seattle. It's one of those places that's worth visiting. It's cool. I wouldn't want to live there because it's not sunny enough.
So Maya,
great place to visit.
Maya, are you saying that their stadium smell like, you know how back in the days you'll go to a friend's house and their mom's cook and you get all the seasonings in your clothes? You know,
yes.
You walk out smelling like a steak dinner.
When I walked out, I was like, my hair smelled like garlic. It was so strong. After being in a whole game, I was like, does no one else notice that this is really, really strong? Pungent is the way to, and I love garlic.
Pungent and Puget Sound.
Yeah. And I love garlic, but I was like, man, this is a little much. I was like, it's strong. I wonder if it's still like that or if they've migrated to something else. But by the way, the fries were the bomb though. I'm like, if I got to smell this, I got to figure out why it smells like this. They were the bomb. They really were.
That's I've had garlic fries, so now I need to travel to Seattle just for their garlic fries, because Output has some garlic Parmesan fries.
Oof. Yeah,
man.
No, you can't never go wrong with garlic. That's the thing. It's just when when somebody eats garlic, you had garlic, because you can tell
you can smell it.
Right, you had some with garlic on it. It's just one of those things.
I'm trying this new garlic perfume here.
Yeah, no. Like, no, boo, no. All right, yeah, Seattle. I can't. I'm gonna, me. I will have a hockey boyfriend. So, that might be my new little side piece. Might be Seattle.
Oh, so you're done? You might be done with Vegas already after 2 years.
No. I'm building a harem.
You a roster?
Yeah, I'm building a harem here. So I got
a roster.
You can't go wrong. You have a Blackhawk, a Knight, and a Kraken. Come on now. That's pretty damn fly. You can't beat that.
That's awesome. Well, this is the next top of the morning topic. Mookie Betts.
Mookie.
Oh my God, I'm in the money. Cash moves everything
my
around
God,
the ring. Get the money.
Check.
Dollar
Are you
bill,
kidding me?
y'all.
Yes,
Mookie Betts signed a huge, not huge, a huge deal. 12 years, $365 million. That's for $1 million a day, I guess. $365 million deal. Oh my goodness! You know what? And Mookie Betts is arguably the top 2 or 3 player in the in Major League Baseball right now. So he's, man, he's in the money. I'm happy for him. Congratulations.
Yeah, like you said, I was like, oh my God, Mookie, look at that check. Are you kidding me?
Mookie.
I mean, here's the thing. I like Mookie. I was like, when that rumor was swirling around before he migrated, I was like, oh, that's a big deal for the Dodgers, to pick him up. I like the deal. It's just that the year time frame. We know he ain't gonna look like that 12 years from now. But he got his payday. That's all that matters. Because we know in 12 years, Mookie Betts is not gonna look like this Mookie Betts. But you get your payday where it comes in. So I'm not mad. Get your money.
I ain't mad at you, Papa. I am not mad at you because
when I heard the deal announced, I was thinking about Anita Baker. Man, she says from beginning to 365 days a year. That's $1 million a day, man.
Man, that's $1 million. Think about that. That's $1 million a day. You wake up, it's $1 million.
It's $1 million.
It's $1 million day today. Right. He don't have a reason not to smile every single day.
No, he doesn't. And you know what, Mookie Betts, the more I did work, did some research on him, like he seems like a really cool guy. Like he's just in love with his high school. I think he said junior high school sweetheart.
Yes, like he's you see his family, like the Betts, they the Betts. Mm-hmm. For real. Like they are just the Betts. Like his family is probably exactly what Tim Anderson's family is like, for real. Like when I was like, I bet you him and Tim Anderson, they get interchangeable families because they just strike me as like they're similar in many ways. But yeah, he's like a regular down to earth guy. And then on top of it, I got paid and I'm gonna take a knee. Boom.
And I was just about to say that.
I'm a 1%er and I'm still taking a knee.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Next out the morning topic. In addition, the day he signs his mega deal, or the day after he signs his mega deal, Mookie Betts took a knee. So did the entire Washington Nationals team and New York Yankees team
and Giants.
The national anthem. And the Giants took a knee for social justice before the game, and I thought it was great. And I was waiting for the memes and the comments, and sure enough, I guess I'm not watching baseball anymore. I'm like, okay, good, don't.
And I got to give the Giants credit because Gabe Kapler, he didn't just, he really spoke. He says the word systemic racism. He says it. He doesn't hide it. And Gabe Kapler, people don't know this, one of the few Jewish people that play baseball. I don't know if people knew he was Jewish. Not that matters. But, I remember when that was talked about so much when he kind of got into the league. He was very vocal. He challenged Trump on some of the things that he said. So I like the fact is not only that he take a knee, but he's very vocal about this is an issue. Matter of fact, I felt that MLB stepped up. You're the first sport to really start playing. And they had like Black Lives Matters. They didn't divert for it and try to do the let's not say Black Lives Matter. Like they flat out said it. They had Morgan Freeman do the intro, which was so fly. I kind of got a little warm and fuzzy because remember, the conversation is baseball would never really get into the movement. Remember when Colin Kaepernick took a knee? And the conversation was because Black people really don't play baseball. And who was the Oriole? There was an Oriole player, a Black player who was like, I'm not surprised that the knee thing is not really kind of carrying over into baseball at the time.
I think it was Adam Jones.
Adam Jones. And he said that. He said because, there's not a lot of Black people that play baseball. And that was disappointing to me. I was like, so injustice is injustice. Got nothing to do. There's 5. So to see baseball embrace this with their few numbers, and they did an intro with all the Black and biracial players did an intro. Did you see that too?
No, I didn't.
About we have the platform, we have the voice, we will speak. Now is the time. It was done really nicely. So I have to say that Major League Baseball, they hit it out the park on this. Let's see if everybody else can follow suit and do it so tastefully.
Then they had patches too on the arms. If you want to,
yeah.
And you mentioned Kapler. Kapler was he goes, I'm going to take a knee, and he mentioned the fact that you said the word systemic racism.
He said it.
He said, he goes, we're not doing a good enough job, with our, with police brutality. And, it's just, he talked about bam, bam, bam. And there's literally no mincing, or you can't misconstrue that at all. No. And I thought to get to the point and be so succinct and direct, I thought was awesome. So it doesn't steer left, right, and it stays on point. And I think that was great for him.
And the thing is, it seemed like every person took a knee. I got a little pissy with Dave Roberts because he stood up too quick. But see, he's kind of lukewarm to me about this situation. I'm not big. I don't particularly care for Dave Roberts. I really don't. I know he's a Dodgers. But I think he's lukewarm on it. But I think he did it because he was expected to do it. But I don't think he did it because he really wanted to do it. I'm just gauging it on what I saw because he got up real quick and I was like, "Get your ass back down." You popping up so quick for Dave? Oh, he doesn't sit well with me. He doesn't.
Did you even have a reason, or is just something?
Because I've read his comments. Because he's biracial, Black and Asian.
Yep.
And he kind of just talked about his experience, and he really was very vanilla about it. Like when he was asked about when Kaepernick was taking the knee and everything. And I don't know, maybe he felt like he couldn't say nothing at the time, but it was just, I'm not saying you have to go like, just all out and be militant, but he just kind of made it seem like not really my experience. So, I'm not so, you respect the anthem. So I didn't, his response just didn't do it for me.
I hear you.
He came in, he grew up during an era where I know that he experienced racism.
I know he about to say, yeah.
You can't tell me, especially being two minority groups that you did not, mind you, growing up in California is probably a little different, but you can't tell me he didn't.
Part of him.
Well, right. I'm sure, it's just, I just didn't feel like he embraced it, but maybe he felt like he couldn't. But then yesterday when he popped up really quick, I was like, see, Dave. So Dave.
You tested my nerves, Dave.
Dave. I mean, he was the first one. I mean, I was like, did you see anybody else move, Dave? What you up for? Watch Gabe. Gabe is still kneeling. Oh, anyways, okay, I'm done. I'm done with my gripe about Dave Roberts.
You got the rant going. The rant.
I don't particularly care for him as a manager either, if you want to know the truth. I don't care how many division titles that the Dodgers win. I don't feel like he can get them where they need to be when they talk about putting a ring on it. That's just how I feel about him. Besides that. But anyways.
We don't know that because Astros cheated, so we don't know. We don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Well, the next top of the morning topic, he's back. He's back. Listen. He's back. He is back. Mike Tyson back in the ring versus Roy Jones Jr. in September.
Ooh. That was a very good Tyson. That was a very good Tyson, Shawn. That was very good.
I tell you what, if you've seen Mike Tyson on social media, that dude is a silver-haired gorilla.
Yes.
He is a monster.
Yes.
He in watching him, the only difference is maybe 1/100th of a second slower and gray hair on his beard. That's the only difference. His power is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm scared for Roy Jones.
His power is amazing.
I'm gonna say,
he's still a little. He's a few sandwiches short of a picnic. So I'm telling you, Roy Jones, why you did this?
I was just about to say, Roy. You might want to leave Mike alone because I want you on this, Shawn. Mike seemed like he still has that unbridled anger, so to speak, about him. Yes. Like at any point.
Robin, where you at, Robin? Robin, I miss you, Robin. I love you. I still love you, Robin.
I think he had enough of her for real. Everybody had enough of her.
Robin, that ooh-wee was good.
She embarrassed him. He was looking like, yeah, but I'm serious. I don't think Roy should have taken this. I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, I'm Team Tyson all the way on this. I ain't gonna lie. I'm Team Tyson.
So who you rocking with?
Whoa. Well, here's the deal. Mike Tyson was kind of crazy, y'all. I mean, that man had a 12-pack, bro.
I'm telling you.
He been doing sit-ups like he been in the penitentiary, bro.
That mental penitentiary. That's what. That's what's going on.
Like he got the mentality, like he been working out. You remember the movie Penitentiary with Too Sweet and all them head?
Yes.
He have head. You just don't want to fight nobody like that. That's a dangerous fight. And then this remind me also of the Apollo Creed and Drago fight, the exhibition that took place. With Drago said he died. I don't want to see it. Throw the towel. I don't want to see it.
I mean, here's a question. Will we be like absolutely floored, or will we be taken aback if he knocks out Roy? I won't, because I think that's a possibility. And here's the thing: Roy is a very respected fighter. I mean, that's the thing that's crazy. He's respected. I mean, during his era, he beat the people he was supposed to beat. So when people start talking about I'm like, he didn't fight in that person's era, so you can't compare. You know what I'm saying? You can only be who's in front of you when it's time for you to fight. That's it. So in that respect, Roy is very respected, but he ain't, in my opinion, I don't feel like he Mike respected. Tyson will forever go down as being that fighter. I mean, outside of biting off somebody's ear, which tells you how caged his anger can be. I'm assuming he's moved past that a bit now.
I don't know, Maya.
No, I think he has found a lot of emotional and mental release over time. I do. But I think
when you start he's up again, you get back in that mindset.
Well, I don't think he's gonna bite nobody's ear again. But
no, I don't think that. But I think that anger and that aggression comes back.
But I think he's up for this.
Stuff that pissed you off before, that you were mad about. No mom, no dad, no this, no that. No, that jumps to the forefront. And
he's sitting there right now. He's sitting there right now with a pigeon like Roy.
Hey, Maya and Shawn, I had a question for you guys. So, do you think Mike Tyson, by him going through therapy, is going to take an edge away from him? Because, like I said, he's been through a lot of mental therapy, and I think it's going to take that edge, that killer instinct away from him. Unless somebody triggers him again, that's the only way I can see him winning. And I think Roy is going to probably approach the fight as like, hey, we're two nice guys. We don't have to take it that serious anymore.
No.
Right. Yeah, he ain't going to try and piss Mike off. He ain't trying to piss Mike. Hey,
he shouldn't.
It's about survival. Hey, Roy boxed a long time. He got a few shots to the head, but he ain't dumb.
You heard what George Foreman said about fighting Mike Tyson. He was like, I ain't never want to see Mike Tyson in there. Never.
I don't. Here's the thing about therapy. I mean, the things that he was resolving were legitimate things that he had to deal with. Mm-hmm. But it still doesn't take away for some people. There can often be that underlying anger that always simmers. I do think he's reconciled a lot of things that he struggled with. There's no doubt about it. But I also think at the core of who he is, Mike Tyson is a fighter. He is. Yeah. He likes the challenge. He's all into this. That's what I'm saying. He's already put his energy into it. So I don't think it's got anything to do with the past things he's resolved. He just enjoys the idea of punching somebody.
Organized whooping. So he's going to go from a chaos whooping to an organized whooping.
Yeah, now he's like, I can think clearly. I see you differently maybe than I would have saw you 15, 20 years ago.
And you know the messed up part about it? Is he will knock your head off and then run and grab your head and try and reconnect it to your body. Like, right. You okay? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to destroy you. I'm so sorry. Like, dude, like it's so funny how he flips a switch. He's like, rah, rah, rah. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You okay? Then he hugs and kisses the guy like, hey, good fight. You was a good fight. And you're like, dude, did you realize that you punched his soul out?
Right.
His soul,
like his head jumped out and came back in.
He fell in the ring, and his soul's out of the ring.
And that's because I really think from an emotional point, he really has found a lot of peace, and people have accepted and embraced him differently. It's like, but here's the thing. But he knows that people respect him as a fighter, regardless to whatever Mike Tyson ever had going on in his life. At one point, it made him who he was. It made him a beast. It did. Yeah. That anger made him a beast. So I hear what you're saying. I don't think, obviously, I think the intensity will still be there because I think all of a sudden he's excited about this. Like he's like enjoying the idea of getting back in the ring. And Mike Tyson has never ever looked out of shape. That's the other thing. And now he just looks extra in shape.
He went vegan.
Yeah, he's never not.
Oh no, there was a time where Mike was.
Yeah, he gained a couple.
Mike was.
Yeah, but I mean.
But he went vegan right now, and so in his training, he went vegan. So you mentioned his 18 pack that he's got in his stomach, dude. That dude's been vegan for a while he's training. It's like you talk about chiseled, like he looks fake, like his stomach looks fake. Like, oh my God, dude, like, are you serious? And then that now he's got the tattoo on his on his eye where he looks psycho like that. And then again watching his videos, his training videos. As big as that man is, and as nimble as that, he is so wow. And watch, he's like pow, pow, pow. Then he just jumped to the side. The trainer came with a right. He ducked the right and jumped to the right side of the trainer. It's like pow, pow, 2 shots to the ribs. I was like, man, that padding was like this thick around the trainer, the body pad. For
like who wants to be the sparring partner for Mike Tyson? Who's crazy? And I hope you're getting paid for that, to get punched around like that, because that's crazy. I mean, so I don't know. I feel I don't know that Roy should have taken this invitation because, there were conversations about him fighting other, like, more current boxers. And people were like, no, Mike's a little over the hill for that. He shouldn't be doing that. And then all of a sudden they start reaching out to this other stuff. And I'm like, Roy, I don't know if this is a good idea. I really don't. And I respect Roy Jones Jr. I just don't. He's not at Mike Tyson's level because Mike Tyson is showing you like, okay, I hope he's training. Because
what would have been crazy if they could get but really, there is no heavyweight that I would put against Tyson from today. Because I'll tell you what, I don't see that killer instinct they may be a little quicker than Tyson. Tyson, he's older, but they don't have that eye of the tiger for Rocky III reference. They don't have that look in their eye like Mike Tyson has when he steps in the boxing ring. And I think it would do a disservice to the sport to have an old guy come and beat one of the contemporaries, like one of the whoever they decide is like is top of the game now. Mike comes and destroys them in 90 seconds. Like, oh damn, okay.
Mike Tyson is a killer. Mike Tyson is a straight killer.
They were talking about initially. They were talking. It was the Fury conversation, like, and it popped up fighting Tyson. It was like it's the age difference. Like, if you dial back Mike maybe 10 years ago, this might be a different conversation. But age does take a toll on this. But I'll tell you what, maybe Deontay Wilder want to call him and like, man, let's just spar because if you can fight Mike Tyson on a regular basis and beat him, you might do better the next time you see Fury. and maybe take off wearing about 20 pounds of walking into the ring gear.
45-pound robe.
Hey guys, there's a cartoon aspect to this fight too. Okay, they will be wearing oversized gloves. I heard so.
That's for Roy's sake. It's still going to
That's exactly for Roy's sake.
That's for Roy's sake.
It's like we're gonna put an oversized glove just in case Mike gets too serious.
No, that's what it is. They were in the geriatric boxing gloves, and it's for Roy's sake. Just like we're gonna try to pound per pound.
Damn sure is.
We're trying to reduce how much this might hurt him. So they know that they can't be messing around with Mike like that because he gonna forget that this is supposed to be fun. Yeah. So.
Yeah, in that ring. Yeah, he goes at it one way. He comes in at this level and this level only. At this level only. So I'm looking forward to it in September. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking for either go to Output or somewhere, but that's going to be one hell of a fight. And I hope it's quick. I hope Mike destroys him.
No, I don't want it to be quick. I want a couple rounds. I want to enjoy it.
I want old school Tyson. I want
to be like dong over. No, I don't want that. No.
I want okay, maybe 2 rounds because Roy Jones is good. He's very good at evasive. He's very evasive. Okay, and Mike just comes like the beast. It just corners him, just keeps moving, and he catches him with one, and it stuns him. Once you stun him, it's over, done deal. Pow, 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 pow. Here come 12 other ones.
I wonder if there's going to be
what's going to get him is the body shot.
Yeah. I wonder if there's going to be stipulations like X amount of rounds, like maybe not a full fight. If it's like they're not. Is it okay? That's a long time for them old people to be doing that.
Don't hit so hard.
So I'm wondering, like, I'm gonna be like, don't hit so hard. We're not looking for knockouts.
Is Mills Lane still alive? Mills Lanes?
I don't know.
I haven't seen. I think he's the referee to fight.
I don't know.
But I love to hear him say, "Let's get it on." That would have been nice to have him there too. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. So Mike, yeah.
Well, we gotta go. We gotta take a break. We gotta take our second break of the show. Hey, Joseph, great stuff up on. We appreciate it, man. We'll see you on Monday. Thanks for hopping on with us and in this top of the morning segment. We gotta take a break. So on the other side of the break, we're going to talk with our guy, from USA Today Sports, their MLB baseball analyst, one of the men when it comes to baseball, Bob Nightingale. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Quicken Loans presents the Sports Flash, driven by Jeep on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. Opening day for the Cubs tonight, 6:10 first pitch at Wrigley Field against the Brewers. Kyle Hendricks faces Brandon Woodruff. The White Sox are home against the Twins, 7:10 first pitch. Lucas Giolito gets the nod. He'll battle the Twins' Jose Barrios.
Cut on and line to left field. Has a base hit down the line. Cut off in the corner by Stevenson. As Wade rounds third, coming home, the throw is cut off. It's a double for Judge, a ribby double.
That's John Sterling on the Yankees radio network in a rain-shortened opening day matchup matchup at Washington 4-1 the final. Garrett Cole held the Nats to just one hit, while the Yankees battered Max Scherzer for 6. The Dodgers exploded for 5 runs in the 7th and added 2 in the 8th to beat the Giants 8-1 at Dodger Stadium. Kike Hernandez with a 2-run blast. Blue Emu promises no chill, no burn, no odor, just what you need to soothe tired muscles and joints. The Sports Flash is driven by Jeep. Chuck Sanders, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Breathe out and repeat after me. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Your bird is eating my candles.
Your bird is eating my candles.
No, seriously, he's making a mess.
No, seriously.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Hey, save that bee. We need him.
Did you know pollinators are more than just honeybees? Did you know 1 in 3 bites of food is made possible by pollinators? That's why Prairie View A&M Cooperative Extension is planting for pollinators this summer. Design your own pollinator garden. Take photos and share. Visit agnearme.com. That's agnearme.com to download our pollinator garden guide today. Let's get planting.
Hey.
I was like, oh, you called me.
I know. Shawn just went away from me. I was like, where'd he go? There he is.
Right. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning. We're jumping into the second hour of the show. Just wrapped up top of the morning. That's powered by the Chicago Crusader. Head on Joseph G. Phillips, who is their sports editor there. We're going to shift gears because we have a guest coming on, one of our favorites. And Bob Nightingale, who's from US Today Sports as well as MLB. So we'll talk about opening day with Bob and get his thoughts about what he saw thus far and kind of, is he? I know that Bob is Arizona ready because I saw Bob doing quarantine. Bob was looking like he was taking the most of it. He was all tan and, look at him. So now I'm feeling like Bob, he's coming back. He's got the shirt kind of buttoned up a little bit more. You were quarantined, relaxed before, Bob. All right. No.
Time to work.
All right, time to work. All right. So opening day. Good. So I know you've been waiting for this moment. Was it anticlimactic or was it everything you'd been waiting for it to happen?
Well, I mean, the rain delay, then the game getting wiped out last night was a little tough. The Nationals, Yankees, and watched the Dodger game last night. So, yeah, it was good. I mean, this is like the real full day, since everybody else is playing.
It's going to be, I did want to talk a little bit about that opening night. Yeah, the rain delay. Give me your thoughts. I thought it was pretty wild with both the Nationals and the New York Yankees. Pre-game, they took a knee. I think they sent a message. I think this is really the first time baseball has really taken a stance and made a political statement with that, and then both teams, which I thought was really wild. And they had their patches. Your thoughts on it? And I didn't think it was going to happen because so few African Americans play baseball. The more Caribbean, more Latin American guys, more Asian guys, and then Caucasian guys. Not a lot of African Americans, but they took a stance for the first time and that I can remember.
It was kind of interesting between the two games because of the Yankees Nationals. They took the knee, but then when the national anthem started, they all stood up, both teams. The Dodger Giant game, same thing. Both teams took a knee, but when the national anthem started, I think Mookie Betts was the only one who stayed kneeled for the Dodgers. And there were about 8 or 10 guys, including the manager, Gabe Kapler, who stayed kneeled in the Giants. So it was almost like, orchestrated on the first game. In this one, teams kind of went their separate ways. So it'll be kind of interesting to see, how it's done today with the White Sox and Twins and the Cubs and Brewers.
It's going to be. We're excited. We've talked about a month ago, and you see me decked out in my. You have no question who I'm rooting for here in Chicago, my South Side. If I'm not mistaken, I think you said didn't you predict the White Sox to win the World Series? Didn't you do that?
No, he did not, Shawn.
Oh,
He did not say that, Bob.
I thought.
keep trying to say you said that. No.
But all kidding aside, let's get down to it. The White Sox are looking good. You know, they had 2 wins over the Cubs. They lost to the Brewers, but they came back. Luis Robert looks like everything that he's been hyped up to be. Even that if you saw yesterday, that home run that went away, he caught it. He actually caught it, but when he slammed into the wall, the ball and the glove went over the fence, which is technically a home run. How big of a year are you expecting out of Luis Robert?
Well, I think he'd have a monster year because the thing is, usually when rookies start off, they go, gangbusters for the first, 2 months or so, and then opposing pitchers figure them out. They finally found out the flaws, everything else, so the adjustments have to be made. In Robert's case, the season will be over by the time people make adjustments. So I can see him having a real monster season because people haven't seen him, and they may not time to figure them out.
Guys, we're joined by Bob Nightingale, USA Today Sports Major League Baseball columnist, right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning, talking opening day. It's for my White Sox, another guy who we're anticipating big years is our starter today, Lucas Giolito. Lucas Giolito last year in the first half was he was in the Cy Young conversation, hands down in the thick of it. Your thoughts on Lucas Giolito taking a big step forward today in kind of regaining that form or regaining the moniker ace in our staff?
Yeah, we'll see who the real Lucas Giolito is. I mean, he always had the talent, but Washington kind of gave up on him. They just didn't think it was ever going to come out. Did great at the outset, really struggled the second half. So we'll see if we can learn from that and see if he can do it, for the entire season, even though it's just 60 games. So he only got 12 starts to do it. But yeah, I mean, he certainly has a talent. It's just more of a that competitive makeup and everything else to push it toward an all-star type of season.
What was good to see about the summer kind of camp games is I was looking forward to seeing, the fact of Rodon coming back. We talked about the last time you were on that the Sox have a good problem, the fact that they're going to have a lot of available pitchers to try to work into the rotation. So it was good to see Rodon. But for me, what I really wanted to see, because it was a long time coming, was Dane Dunning. And I have to say that given the time it's taken for him to get to the majors after injury, I think overall he had a good outing, considering that was a big moment to step into that role. Kind of what's your thoughts of some of the pitchers you saw that, in Keuchel and Rodon and Dane Dunning, about their kind of, piece of this puzzle for the Sox trying to make a run for the playoffs at least?
Yeah, but I think that's where Dallas Keuchel steps in. Keuchel's that veteran guy. The Houston Astro pitchers rave on and on just what he meant for them. And so I think these young guys that take a step forward, they need to rely on Keuchel. And he's a great clubhouse leader. I mean, he's still a very good pitcher, but the leadership skills, particularly coming from a pitcher, not a position player, is outstanding. So I think if these guys do step up, I think Keuchel credit for it.
Let's go to the north side, and I know my producer Ivan's happy as a pig in slop. Now we're talking Cubs. He's a big Cub fan. Their rotation. Let's talk a little bit about that. I think Kyle Hendricks. I'm a big fan. I'm a Sox fan through and through, but man, I have mad respect for Kyle Hendricks for what he's done in his career at this point. How good do you think Kyle Hendricks, who's getting the ball today for the Cubs, can be this year in this shortened season and in the rest and moving on?
Well, he's such a steady guy. So he's perfect for this role, kind of on. So it doesn't matter if he's starting opening day or next week. So he's that same guy. So yeah, he's a guy you're not going to worry about if you're a Cubs fan or the Cubs organization. You're going to wonder, okay, what's the big question? What's the deal with Yu Darvish? Which Yu Darvish is going to show up? How about John Lester getting up in their age? So I think with Kyle Hendricks pitching tonight, he should be 5 innings tonight, give up 1 or 2 runs maximum, and then but the real test I think is tomorrow with Darvish.
Well, looking at David Ross now, is this an advantage for him or not? Because he's never managed before. This is a short season. Can he just kind of throw anything at the wall because it's such a short season and people won't say, oh my God, he's incompetent, he's this, he's that, or will they end up saying, oh my, wow, that was ingenious because it is a short season? How can this go for David Ross as a first-time manager in a 60-game shortened season?
Well, I think it's tough for him just because nobody wants to be a rookie manager in this environment. Every game means so much. Even with expanded playoffs, you're still talking about every game meaning 2.7 times a normal game. So there'll be a lot of strategy involved, a lot of urgency, and he's going to have to pull guys that are not doing well. Maybe benches a couple players that normally would not get benched. So you can't be Mr. Nice Guy, and you can't be patient. You got to go lights out like it's right in the middle of the race.
What's your thoughts about MLB announces that there's going to be the 16-team playoff kind of, that's the format they're going to kind of accommodate this season. To me, that can be very advantageous for teams like the White Sox. What's your thought about that approach with this season to kind of get the playoffs and teams involved?
No, absolutely. I mean, you're going to have some flukes make the playoffs now for sure. I thought one fluke each leg. No, I think we'll have a few. I mean, it's easy to put together a 60-game stretch. What this does, too, it eliminates the idea that some great teams get left out. I mean, the Nationals were 19-31, so they never would have made the playoffs. This time, if teams have a little struggle, a little bad week, you can still make it. So it'll be interesting. And then we're not going to have that wild card game anymore either. Instead, we'll just have a best-of-3 series at whichever has the best record. So no travel, but just 3 games in one spot.
I want to talk a little bit about this huge contract that happened, that got signed the other day. Mookie Betts, $365 million contract, $1 million a day apparently, for a year. But no, talk to me about that. And man, these contracts are in this pandemic, in this time when baseball gets started late. This mega deal happens.
The timing was very surprising. I mean, I thought everybody thought that Mookie turned on $325 million from the Red Sox. They'll never see that money in the pandemic, and sure enough, it was there. I talked about it, back in February and March before baseball shut down, and then revisited. So, and the surprising thing is, I mean, when Mookie got traded to the Dodgers, he was only there for one afternoon because it was right before spring training, and they went to Phoenix for spring training. So the only time he spent in the city was during this, the summer camp, spring training 2.0. So fell in love with the place after just 3 weeks, and great deal for him. I'm not sure he would have gotten anything, much better than that, even if he had tested free agency. The Dodgers are thrilled. Now he's a new face of the franchise. Dodgers can be a juggernaut for a long time. It's going to be like the Atlanta Braves back when they won 14 straight division titles. They're halfway there with 7 right now.
Right. So a big deal. I'm with you. It does seem like when it was all said and done that the best deal for them overall. What do you think about the Dodgers in respect of, it seems like coming into the season, like, okay, this is a team that this could be a very good short season for them, but then they have to scratch, obviously, their starter, and because of back issues and go to May. Do you foresee if this turns out and having obviously issues with the pitching staff, is that going to be something that's going to end up being an Achilles heel for them, talking about being able to really piece together a good 60-game season?
They're such a deep franchise. It won't hurt him at all. I mean, Kershaw's 3-time Cy Young winner. He's not the same guy, but still a very good pitcher. I heard a little bit as David Price opting out. Price is giving their number 2, number 3 starter. And, it's a huge blow. He's just such a workhorse, and he was a world hero just a couple years ago for the Red Sox. So I think it's going to hurt them come playoff time, but they should still run away with the division. And we'll see. I mean, they won the World Series since '88, knocking the door a couple times here. But I think in the championship, huge disappointment for the Dodgers and their fans.
Guys, we're joined by Bob Nightingale from USA Today Sports, the Major League Baseball columnist right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone. Chicago. Vegas has these bets. So give me your thoughts. Who's your top team? Who do you predict to win in the each of the divisions? AL East, NL East, and so on and so forth. Who do you have winning each of those divisions in this short season?
Well, then I'll go the Dodgers running away with it again in the NL West. NL Central, I think that's the best race of all. The Cardinals, I just think it's a veteran team, very good rotation. Last year, they got Jack Flaherty. I think he's the best young pitcher in all of baseball. So I like the Cardinals there. And then the NL East should be wild, too. I'm going to go the Mets. Take a little long shot there. I just think same thing. They got the pitching, a veteran team. And I like the veteran teams during this time because of this short season. Then over the American League, the AL West, I'm going to go a little surprised. I'm going to go Oakland A's to win that division. I just think they have so much talent, young talent, and they've knocked off the Astros. They beat up the Astros pretty good last year. So I still think the Astros make the playoffs, but I think Oakland could surprise there, win the division. Very good team. In the AL Central, I know you want me to say White Sox, but I'll still go to Minnesota. Just a powerful team.
No,
Can we have a there? It sounds like you said the Minnesota Chicago White Sox.
I'm all about objectivity, Bob. All about objectivity.
No, I agree with you. I think the Sox could contend. I think Minnesota's tough. They're the team to beat. They're the team to beat.
Yeah, I don't discount Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to be very good too. I mean, the veteran team too together. I think with the short season, the pandemic, it hurts a team like the White Sox just because they're so young and everything else. I love the White Sox next year, but I just think they're just not quite ready. Not that they can't surprise, but not quite ready. And then over in the AL East, I'll go with the Yankees. The Rays are very good. I'll still go Yankees.
What's your thoughts about the Atlanta Braves? I kind of feel like they're that team that could really jump up and bite you. I like the addition of Puig they put there so that you get that speed. They're young. I felt like last year they were right there in the thick of it. I feel like they're a team that somehow could be very surprising, and if they can get off to a hot start, of what they could do with this type of season.
Well, yeah, they're a young team. You worry about Freddie Freeman. They're stud. And he missed all the camp, with the virus. Just came back just a few days ago. Cole Hamels was supposed to be, an anchor in the rotation. He's out now for, at least half the season, if not longer. They could be there. They've surprised people the last couple of years, but I'm just not so sure. I just think with a short season, it may be tough for them. So I like more of the veteran teams, whether it's the Mets. I think they'll be good with Joe Girardi, who's from Chicago, leading the way there. You can't write off the Nationals either. I think the pandemic helps the Nationals in the sense those pitchers were so tired from last year for the World Series run. Now they should be fresh. I mean, they've had all this time off, and they got the three big studs in Scherzer, and Strasburg and Patrick Corbin.
Bob, a couple more questions before we let you go. When we're joined by Bob Nightingale from USA Today Sports, talking opening day right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Who's your surprise team? The team, give me one in each league that's going to open up everyone's eyes in this short season. Someone we just probably wouldn't think, in a regular season wouldn't make a lot of noise, but because of this shortened season, that they have a chance to really open up some eyes.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go Oakland A's. I think they had a chance to. I'm going to pick them to win the pennant. So I know they're supposed to be a good team anyway, but I think they have a chance to be very, very good. I think they could be that one big surprise. In the National League, I'm not sure. Maybe the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're not going to win the division, but maybe they go deep into the playoffs. They got Madison Bumgarner now. The ace from the Giants from all those years, so he should help out the young guys. And like I said, I don't know what to expect from the NL East. I mean, it's just going to be a wild piece over there. We'll see about the NL Central. I know a lot of people are jumping on the Reds bandwagon. There's so many new faces there. I'm just not sure that camaraderie comes together, this quick.
You know what? You mentioned that, and then one of the things that we noticed that we talked about is when we were watching the Sox game, both games against the Cubs, the camaraderie, the bonding, the friendship, the fun that they were having. You know, the game that Tim Anderson was mic'd up, and him and Jose Abreu, you know, in his broken English, he's imitating Tim Anderson. They seem to have a good chemistry, and to me, that's so important to this, especially to this young team, because they just might be dumb enough to or ignorant enough to think that they can win a whole lot of games and win the division.
Yeah, and, you know, they have a little chip on their shoulder too. You saw Tim Anderson, you know, kind of jump on the ESPN guys. Yeah, I thought you guys forgot about us here. So no, they have that. Camaraderie is good. I think camaraderie is bigger than ever. It means more in a short season like this, because hey, these guys came in together all the time. I mean, you're not supposed to go to restaurants on the road or bars or clubs. You know, you got to, you know, hang together. In the clubhouse too, even at home over at, you know, USL, you know, there won't be reporters in there. There won't be marketing people, you know, group things that go say hello to fans. So they're going to have more time together than they've ever had. So if a team's together, you know, watch out. It could mean a difference.
Guys, he's Bob Nightingale from USA Today. Hey, we appreciate it, guys. You can find him on Twitter at @BNightingale and check out his work at USA Today. Man, great stuff. I am fired up. As you can tell, I'm decked out. Maya's fired up. She's decked out in her Sox jersey, her Sox mug. Our producer Ivan's decked out in his Cubs stuff. This is the day that we've waited for a long, long time, and it's going to be. And you know, it's National Tequila Day, so you talk about buttermilk icing on the cake. What a way to start off baseball season. Hey, Bob, thanks a lot, buddy. We appreciate your time. We'll be in touch soon.
All right. Hope to see you this weekend. Take care.
All right now.
Bye-bye.
Guys, that was Bob Nightingale from USA Today for still looking pimp daddy-ish, and I love it. I love it.
Still got the like the Mac Daddy out. He's still got it.
Telling you.
He didn't have a rope. You know what I mean? He just didn't have a rope.
I didn't need to see shades. I was going to finish off with the outfit. He's pimping, boy.
Here's what you got to love about Bob. He's going to say something that that he knows you're not going to agree with. He's like, no, don't get me wrong. The White Sox are good, but, it's really the Twins. I love the way you're like, oh, okay, Bob. Yeah, it's just the way he says it is so funny. No, I mean, I think, it's interesting. I will agree with him, and he's been consistent in saying this, that this is really an advantageous season for the veteran teams. And I don't disagree with that, because you're not having to make adjustments. You're not sure about what you do or don't have. So it's about going out there and just starting the season hot and performing, opposed to figuring out what's worse. If you're a team that's got any question marks anywhere, like, is this pitcher going to be the right fit? Do we have the right person as a leadoff hitter? All that kind of stuff. That stuff, if you're navigating those kind of things, that'll make the season interesting for you. But if you know what you have, then you're going out full throttle and you're playing. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm so excited. I can't wait till tonight to watch tonight's game. Opening night for the good guys.
I think the first game starts at like 4. I think it's like the Braves and something. I was just looking at it, but yeah, I'm excited too. I just what time do you guys start? You guys start at 7?
7. Yeah, you're 6:10. We're 7:10.
Yeah.
So it is actually today. Who's the first game? Give me a second. It's that's Saturday. Sorry, baseball. Yeah, 3:00. Bretts and Maves. Braves and Mets.
Bretts and Mays? Is that like Hobbs and Shaw? Bretts and Mays?
Yeah, Bretts and Mays.
How did you do that?
Hobbs and Shaw. I'm so excited about baseball. I can't even speak right.
But isn't it funny when your mind transposes stuff like that?
Already?
Maybe.
Yeah. Have you started your National Tequila Day already? How funny is that? National Tequila Day on opening day of baseball. Was that on purpose?
Things that make you go, Speaking of that, I'm probably going to go hang out with Hershey later at Hershey Boy, because the 22nd was his birthday. So over at they're having instead of happy hour, it's Hershey hour.
I saw that.
For 3 hours, you're going to have 2 or 3 hours. They're going to have like a happy hour special, but
I saw that.
His birthday, so yeah. So I'll probably go have one with him for his birthday. So yeah.
One?
Or 2.
One time? I don't think so. Anyways, okay.
Well, it'll just be a really big
one time.
one big one.
It's funny you say that, because when sometimes I'm doing assessments with my patients, and they're like, "Oh, I had one beer," and I said, "Did you have one beer, or did you have one beer?" And they're like, and they start laughing. I'm like, "Yeah, don't tell me you had one beer, because that's not. We know one beer, really. That's funny when people say that. I had one drink."
Have a drink.
But your alcohol level is 0.345. You had more than one drink. Unless
they just gave it to you in a half-gallon container.
And you just sat there and just
drink it. There's just one.
People are funny when they that perspective about their drinking. But yeah. So I'm excited. I'm gonna watch a good portion of the games. I want to see a lot of teams in action, what they look like, coming out the gates. So good stuff.
First day of This is far too long. Like, this is where we should have been a couple weeks ago, months ago, but now we're here. It's here. Baseball's here. No fans. You see all the cardboard cutouts that they had of the various people.
They said at Dodgers Stadium, like, you pay. So I want to say
everybody does, yeah.
But I think they said it was like certain areas. It was maybe like $2.99, $299, not $2.99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, like the ones that were like right behind home plate.
Okay.
I want to say they said that makes sense because like you could see like because Tommy Lasorda was sitting there.
Yeah, I saw that. That was awesome.
So those were.
Where's the pasta, Tommy?
I know. I'm not sure. Like now beyond that, how much they cost, but those seats were $2.99. I'm like, okay, still generating some revenue.
Somehow, somewhere, yeah.
Looking at that schedule, I was just taking a peek right now at both our schedules. You guys, so you go Twins and Indians for the White Sox, right? Imagine you sweeping those first two series. Let's say you sweep those first two series. Like this is how like intense.
That's a statement.
It's how
That's a statement,
right? But it's how intense each game can be. You know what I mean? Each series can be because like on the flip side, we got 3 with the Brewers and then 4 with the Reds. Now winning every series is after that it's just times 10. You know what I mean? Like you cannot afford to lose a series by any means whatsoever.
No.
So it could be very fun right out of the gate because you're playing division. You're playing a division.
Well,
so you gotta win. You have to win. You have to win. You gotta. Afford it.
This is like the equivalent of when people say coming out the All-Star break, you got to have pedal to the metal. You know what I mean? This is kind of like, okay, we're already All-Star break, boom,
and pedal to the metal.
But the difference is the playing field is equal. So it isn't like coming into the All-Star break if you're right there and that you got to maintain. No, it's like coming out the All-Star break, everybody's a contender.
Right.
The question is who falls off. Mm-hmm. And it only takes about 10 to 15 games. If you mess around, that you could be out of contention. Even though this new 16 team playoff makes it a little bit more interesting.
Right, but I don't think you necessarily. I think you still want the division. You still want to be a top dog.
Of course,
those pitchers are going to need that rest because they're going to be going. There's hardly any breaks in between, so you're going to have pitchers going nonstop, barely getting a rest, not having any type of a day off, and then you get to the playoffs, you get to the end, and have that rest. That's an advantage to anybody. Against anybody. Play.
Yeah, 60 games in 66 days that's a lot and very little recovery time. So
it's awesome. It's awesome. But here, this is why the White Sox are in such a great position because you have all these extra pitchers that you have to figure out how to work them into the rotation. Right. So they don't have to stretch their starting rotation too thin because they have enough people that they can plop in bullpen. And as long as I promise you, if they put Fulmer on one more game.
No. I was just about to say, right before we go to break, we got to go to break. We got another guy.
I'm going to start saying hate mail.
They DFA'd him. So they designate him for assignment. So they cut him. And if he doesn't get picked up by anybody else, he can still come back to the White Sox.
Who's picking up dog poop? Who's picking up dog poop?
There's enough people who pick up dog poop in around pro sports. But yeah, the Sox cut him. They designated him for assignment.
Thank God, because I cannot watch. I'm like, why are they still trying this? I was like, it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. He's done. Okay.
We got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, our man from the bubble, Brandon Scoop B. Robinson, talking about NBA action. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Scoop B coming up next right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Quicken Loans presents the Sports Flash, driven by Jeep on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. Opening day for the Cubs tonight, 6:10 first pitch at Wrigley Field against the Brewers. Kyle Hendricks faces Brandon Woodruff. The White Sox are home against the Twins, 7:10 first pitch. Lucas Giolito gets the nod. He'll battle the Twins' Jose Barrios.
Cut on and line to left field. Has a base hit down the line. Cut off in the corner by Stevenson. As Wade rounds third, coming home, the throw is cut off. It's a double for Judge, a ribby double.
That's John Sterling on the Yankees radio network in a rain-shortened opening day matchup at Washington. 4-1 the final. Garrett Cole held the Nats to just one hit, while the Yankees battered Max Scherzer for 6. The Dodgers exploded for 5 runs in the 7th and added 2 in the 8th to beat the Giants 8-1 at Dodger Stadium. Kike Hernandez with a 2-run blast. Blue Emu promises no chill, no burn, no odor, just what you need to soothe tired muscles and joints. The Sports Flash is driven by Jeep. Chuck Sanders, 1330, 95.9 The Zone.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents. And Doug.
Breathe out and repeat after me. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Your bird is eating my candles.
Your bird is eating my candles.
No, seriously, he's making a mess.
No, seriously.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Hey, save that bee. We need him.
Did you know pollinators are more than just honeybees? Did you know 1 in 3 bites of food is made possible by pollinators? That's why Prairie View A&M Cooperative Extension is planting for pollinators this summer. Design your own pollinator garden. Take photos and share. Visit agnearme.com. That's agnearme.com to download our pollinator garden guide today. Let's get planting.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago, and it's TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby, my birthday weekend, baby, and I'm fired the freak up. Unfortunately, I'm not doing the show in Michigan today like I did last week, but I will be in Michigan at Lake Michigan on the other side of the lake tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. The big 4-9, the big 4-9, Maya. Holy shish kebab.
That's right. You are after tomorrow, you'll be 1 year away from being AARP eligible.
That's so funny, but it's so true.
Hey, all of a sudden, those little perks they keep talking about with AARP, like insurance discount, phone discounts, all of a sudden, that's starting to look awfully enticing.
Yeah, okay. Hey, anywhere we can cut a corner, save $1. I'm good.
See, when you start to get old, you be like, "Oh, I can save some money."
Well, listen, my next guest doesn't have to worry about the AARP club for quite a while. He's a good friend of the program. He covers the NBA. You can find him on Twitter at Scoop B. Man, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Brandon Scoop B. Robinson. Brandon, Scoop, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Man, I see you rocking that Chicago Bears jacket. I see you rocking that Chicago Bears
joint. Had to pull that out the closet for sure. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you? Good. All right.
Good.
Dude, so talk to us, man. How was the? Because you were down in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I'm in Orlando. I know what's going on in Orlando, but I'm not in Orlando.
Okay, good. So I was actually concerned because I thought you were in the bubble. Like, man, I was worried just about that whole deal. You know, obviously with the COVID and everything, but yeah, let's get right to it, man. The Lakers. Everyone's talking about the Lakers. The Lakers should win it. They're a heavy favorite to win it. Are you seeing the Lakers as a favorite? You got the Bucks. Who you liking to come out of this restart?
I mean, it's a three-headed monster when you look at it. The Lakers, the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Lakers did get a scrimmage yesterday against the Dallas Mavericks. Didn't win, but statistically, guys are looking well. And I think one of the biggest things today is Kyle Kuzma's birthday. When I look at the Lakers, I think their bench and their supporting cast will determine whether or not they can win it all. Because when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks as an example, even without Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Milwaukee Bucks are a competitive group of guys. Brook Lopez, Robin Lopez, the twins there, as well as Middleton, who is an all-star, and you have other added pieces as well. When you take a look at the Lakers and you take LeBron out of that equation, can the Lakers still be successful? You saw that points last season when he got hurt and he hurt his groin. They kind of, were younger and had a different cast there. But, you even look at the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are the headliners. Paul George played well in the scrimmage the other day, but they have other guys on that team that can step up in their absence. Excuse me, I said accents. But I think that the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Milwaukee Bucks are definitely a three-headed monster of teams. It's just a matter of the luck of the draw and who really kicks it into high gear come playoff time.
Do you see? So, who is your sleeper? Who do you think, because they're in now, or just because of the fact that it's a restart, who can shock the world, or at least go pretty far in the playoffs?
It's funny, because I have two. You look at the Philadelphia 76ers. They have a healthy Ben Simmons. They played today in a scrimmage against the Memphis Grizzlies, and then you have Joel Embiid. You have Tobias Harris. You have Josh Richardson. I've been around that team in and out of Philadelphia throughout the course of the season, and one of the things that I find interesting is the shifting of Ben Simmons to the 4 spot. Spoke with Brett Brown off and on the last couple of weeks just about his thought process, and I think this is a coming of age for Ben Simmons as it relates to people respecting him as a scorer off the basketball. And in addition to that, I look at the Toronto Raptors as another sleeper. I think reigning NBA champions, and they've been playing well. One of the things that I marvel at with the Raptors particularly is before many teams flew out to Florida to partake in the bubble, the Raptors were already there. They were in Naples, and they were practicing in a college setting, preparing for the bubble. So you think about it, the only non-American team that plays in an American sports league flying early to America and Florida to get ready for what will be. I think that's pretty cool. And I think many people underestimate them because they don't have Kawhi Leonard on that team. He left and bolted for the Clippers. And they still do have a strong cast of Mr. Raptor and Kyle Lowry, Marc Gasol, and some of the other pieces that are there. But I think those are the two surprise teams, the Toronto Raptors and the Philadelphia 76ers.
Brandon, I'd like to believe that it's that foreigner work ethic, but I also think that the Raptors probably had some insight that the city of Toronto wasn't really favorable about sports stuff. You see how they did the Blue Jays. So they were probably like, let us get out of Canada before they tell us that we can't leave and something crazy happens. No, but let me ask you a question about kind of moments where you feel like there are certain players that need to step up. I kind of feel like Ben Simmons has been sitting in a position where he's not playing up to potential. I kind of felt like the 76ers season last year was very lackluster. And to me, it has to be, I think there's a lot of hype behind Ben Simmons, but I don't think that he's showing up in the way that people expect. This might be the perfect opportunity, obviously with the season being where it is, for Ben Simmons to kind of take that step forward. What's your thoughts about him as well as where he's at with the 76ers? Or is it kind of at the point with you? He's almost becoming an afterthought to me if he doesn't make that big step forward.
It's interesting you bring that up because I actually personally think the opposite. I think that the Sixers had the tools last season, particularly when you had former Chicago Bull, I haven't had my
Jimmy Butler.
Yes, Jimmy Butler. Thank you. You had Jimmy Butler on that team alongside JJ Redick with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and Tobias Harris. In the offseason, literally the Sixers had to choose between either retaining Tobias Harris or Jimmy Butler. And in all actuality, you brought in Tobias Harris, but you lost Jimmy, you lost JJ, but you brought in Al Horford. Mm-hmm. I think that the Sixers were spoiled last year in their personnel and what they had. And I think that they're kind of taking a page out of their playoff book last year. By that, I mean this. You shift Ben Simmons to the 4. To me, it's similar to in the playoffs last year in certain half-court sets against the Toronto Raptors. Jimmy Butler was the primary ball handler in certain plays. And Ben Simmons was able to roam around the perimeter, get in the post, and more. I think this is the remix of it. Today, the projected lineups for Philadelphia, you have Shake Milton at the point, Josh Richardson at the 2. You have Al Horford, Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris starting in those other 3 spots. Ben Simmons is not starting. I'm not sure if he's playing. I don't know. I just know the projected lineups for today. But I think that Philadelphia has been tinkering a lot with different lineup and personnel spots, trying to figure out how things work. I think it's almost like you have a ton of Legos, but you're just picking the right ones that fit certain spots. And I think. Go ahead.
See, here's the thing about that kind of makes me say, if they're not tinkering with Joel Embiid, they know exactly how he fits into what he gives him. The fact that Simmons isn't in the lineup, see, that to me is, remember, I look at how initially when the Sixers were so focused on Ben Simmons, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. That's exactly why I feel like he needs to step his game up, because we're not questioning if Joel Embiid is going to be in that lineup. We know what his role is. We know what he can do. I still
part
feel
of it is because Ben has been hurt. If you remember going into the Hawks.
Right.
Hurt. Yeah, hurt. So I think they're it's not a game. So they're slowly bringing him back in. No different than with Brooklyn. And I hear what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. When you look at Brooklyn, Jamal Crawford recently signed with the Nets. He's not in the lineup yet. Certain guys, they're easing them, and LeBron didn't play in the second half of the game yesterday. But as it relates to you talking about fits, I get what you're saying. I also think that Joel Embiid is a different type of player.
Of course.
When you look at, this is a guy that was a potential MVP candidate early in the season. I think he fits so many spots. I often tell people that he is a Chris Webber, Hakeem Olajuwon hybrid. Footwork, big man, top heavy, that can finesse you off the dribble, can post you. I think he's a modern day big man. I think that the Sixers just have so many assets and tools in the shed. They got to find a way to figure it out. Even from the perspective of Al Horford. In my mind, when I looked at Al Horford this season, I legitimately thought that Horford would start next to Embiid, be the Embiid whisperer, and at the same time would be able to fill some gaps that they were missing. But to be honest with you, I like Horford off the bench. In the same way that I like Portland's problem that they have, where they have Nurkic, they have Zach Collins, and they just have a glut of big men that are potentially going to have to come in as 6 men. So I think for the Sixers, I think they're really retooling what they have. And I think Ben Simmons can get to the basket at ease and can score. I used this example on a radio show in Philadelphia a few days ago. Ben Simmons, to me, in Philadelphia right now, reminds me of Magic Johnson in the 1980 NBA Finals when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got hurt. And he shifted basically to the center position. Now it's Ben Simmons' time to elevate himself as a scorer and not have to be so much of a playmaker.
There you go. So that's why I feel like there's an evolution to his game that we need to see in this part of the season, so to speak.
Guys, we're joined by Brandon Scoop B. Robinson. He is a senior writer for Heavy.com. We're talking NBA action right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. So let's cut right to the chase. MVP. The NBA announced that the MVP would be announced or will be based on the season, the shortened season that just passed. Who do you got? The Greek Freak or the King?
I think that Giannis has been the MVP most of the season. LeBron was the MVP for a week and a half before the NBA shut down.
Hey, it is what it is. Do you agree with picking the MVP before the season is actually over, though? Do you agree with that? Or just how this season, season unfolded was so unnatural. You know what I mean? So
I know what you mean. I look at 2004 when Kevin Garnett was the NBA's MVP and they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Timberwolves had a great season with Sam Cassell, Latrell Sprewell, Garnett, Wally Szczerbiak, I think, was still on that team. The late Flip Saunders was the head coach. The Lakers went to the finals and lost to the Pistons that year. Then you look at 2007, Dirk Nowitzki was the MVP. They lost in the first round to the Golden State Warriors. I think that is difficult because I think LeBron James is in a Michael Jordan type of situation where there are many years you could say that Michael Jordan was the MVP, and then you give it to David Robinson or Hakeem Olajuwon or Charles Barkley, but then Michael ends up winning the NBA Finals and becomes Finals MVP, and the Bulls win. So it's like, does a regular season MVP really matter if you don't win the whole thing? Honestly.
I would agree. If I had to pick and choose, I would go with the Finals MVP. I would.
Because when you look at James Harden, one of those years, LeBron was the MVP. Another one of those MVP years, some people feel it wasn't James Harden's. It was Giannis. So I just think the process is so very subjective. And ultimately, listen, it would suck if you were a kid to go to school and have the illest drip every day in school, but you're failing all your classes and you don't graduate.
Believe me, I've seen that many in all my years. I've seen
That's funny. That's funny.
You're fly, but yeah, you're gonna have to repeat again. AB, I got so producer wanted to ask a question. He goes, so if the Blazers meet the Lakers in the playoffs, can they beat the Lakers?
I think that is a very good matchup, and I actually would like to see it because the Blazers have dealt with injuries throughout the course of the season. If you look at the Memphis Grizzlies, the Grizzlies benefited from Damian Lillard being out. But the thing about it is, Melo coming in November, being the NBA's Player of the Month in November, and also just having a redemptive career this season is great just for story purposes. But I think that the Blazers, the only concern that I have legitimately, as much as I'd like to see that matchup, is Trevor Ariza as their defensive stopper being out, because that's the guy you brought in to stop LeBron James in the playoffs. I think defensively, I think that the Blazers are top heavy like the Lakers, but their bench concerns me in a way that the Lakers' bench doesn't concern me. And it's funny because when I look at the Clippers versus the Lakers, I had the same issue. The Lakers' bench concerned me in comparison to the Clippers. I mean, like, the Clippers literally have like a second unit. They're like the 2000s Portland Trailblazers. But I think ultimately what it comes down to is I still think the Lakers are the better team in comparison to Portland. I like Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is checking your favorite point guard's favorite point guard. But I do think that Memphis has been a great story this season, and I don't want to shortchange them. January was their struggle month, but overall, the play of Ja Morant this season, he is the Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
I think that as much as people want to give it to Zion Williamson, there is nobody who has been as consistent as a rookie as much as he has. And I think Chicago native Kendrick Nunn started out hot. Chicago Bulls' Kobe White played well, but Ja Morant is in the playoffs. He's consistent, and I think he is a point guard for the future. So I'd like a matchup with Portland and LA, but Memphis is in an A spot, and they've earned the right to be there.
All right,
guys, that's Brandon Scoop B Robinson. He's a senior writer for Heavy.com. Man, you can find him on Twitter at Scoop B. Hey, Brandon, we appreciate your time this morning, Papa. Thanks a lot, man. We will be in touch soon, and keep rocking that Chicago gear, man. We love it. Oh, before we let you go, Yankees or Mets? Because you're a New Yorker, so
I like the Yankees. I used to live down the street from Yankee Stadium, and I'm going with the Yankees.
Yankees, okay. All right.
He's like, okay. I mean, it's not like if you said that, people would boo you. I mean, it's kind of like, come on, man, just say it. Just say it, Yankees. Just say it.
It's funny. I lived down the street from there. My nana had a house there, but the first baseball game that I ever went to was actually in Baltimore. I went to see the Orioles when I was a kid during Cal Ripken's streak. My mom graduated, and my dad are graduates of Morgan State University. So, like, the first baseball game I went to was the Orioles, and I was a fan for a while. I liked that era of Palmeiro and Cal Ripken and Bobby Bonilla and Mike Mussina and all those guys. But then Mike Mussina, he came to the Yankees, you know. And so I like Pete Jeter, I like Bernie Williams, I like, you know, that whole cast of characters. They're winners, they're legendary. But I'm sticking with the home team, the Yankees. I'd like to see them go deep this year.
Okay. Yeah, well, they started off on the right foot. You know, Giancarlo's like, "Hold on, player. Let me show you what I got."
Right.
Exactly.
At bat. I was like, "Oh, okay. You're talking about doing something. Okay, you're about doing something this year. Hey, I see you, Giancarlo, with your big old contract. I see you. Hey, B, thanks a lot, buddy. You have a good weekend, and we'll be in touch soon.
Happy early birthday, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.
Welcome.
All right now.
Bye-bye.
All right. Oh, happy birthday, Shawn. Go AARP from Jason Palmer. That's funny. Yeah, that's very funny, Mom.
I mean, you're not officially there. You're a year off. You know, so.
No, I'm off all right. For damn sure.
You're off. Right. This is your last Do It Big under 50 year, so you know.
So real quick. You guys heard the news, right? Like, and I'm kind of pissed about it. You heard about the Jim Boylan news, right?
No.
That he's more than likely sticking around. Look at Shawn. Shawn says Shawn looks like he's about to just either he's frozen or he's about to.
I'm not frozen.
Okay, right, because that was actually.
Oh man!
Right. Well, you know, it's funny because Daniel Gafford kind of made comments about.
He was putting something out there. He was putting something out there.
He was putting something out there. I think, but there's a lot that Boylan still needs to figure out. And I think that was his way of telling us he might be. You know, again, it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what the reason would be for keeping him. I don't think that there's a ton of respect for him in the locker room. You need to go find some more competent and qualified to coach this team that they can respect. I don't know. Maybe it's just at this point.
You know, the point Shawn always makes, and it's the truth, is that they're paying too many coaches. They'd be paying too many coaches. So you still got this guy under contract, you know, and then you still have when are they done with Hoiberg? I think, you know, they still think they got they still have time with Hoiberg's contract, and then they got Boylan under contract. I think it goes back to what Shawn said before. They don't want to pay three guys, and that's their fault
for making poor choices. So your poor choices are gonna here. Okay, I will say this: being that this season doesn't mean anything, what's the point of keeping them around? You know what I'm saying? Nothing is gonna happen. It's a moot point. But I think they don't have to make any big sweeping decisions right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So maybe they're really. I mean, they've got a new management team that has potential. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just really thinking this out properly. So I don't need for them to make any rush decisions because this season means nothing for the Bulls. Right. But what they decide to do moving forward for next season, that's the difference maker. Hmm. And it's weird because we talk about next season. Next season, in theory, is right around the corner. Like literally.
I don't know. It's straight ahead.
It's straight ahead.
I mean, it's right there. I mean,
they have like a timeout. Like, all right, after the finals, like, all right, return to training camp next week.
Well, maybe it's just not enough time. Maybe that's their thinking is that it's just not enough time to go ahead and thoroughly vet out the coach that you want for the future. You know what I mean? And plus, like, you know, they just started the restart for the NBA with a couple scrimmages, but it's like, do they really want to wait that long? Are they rushing it because the season is straight ahead? You know what I mean? In a couple months.
Let me play devil's advocate. So I can, if they're going to keep this Jamoke, I can see it, and here's why.
Jabroni.
This is Jabroni. Listen here, Jabroni. No, you're rolling. Shut your mouth. The one you made a good point about not being able to vet your your next head coach. Because
Mm-hmm.
right now you'd be in the process of looking at head coaches, but you know what? All the guys are down in Florida.
Right.
Okay. The restart to the new season, okay, is going to be the offseason is going to be so short. So now you get a new coach. What if it's a younger guy? Okay, a less experienced guy, which I wouldn't want, but what if it is? And now you got him off of a short off season working with this team that needs work.
Right.
I think if you rock with him for one.
I think the broadcast. I don't know. See, I think that the broadcast didn't want him to speak that nonsense into the universe.
Right.
So it just stopped Shawn like dead in his tracks. Like, don't.
Yeah, don't even say it.
Don't even say it. Don't speak it. Do not speak that into existence, because if you do, then it might actually happen. You know, you gotta be careful with these things. You know, you can speak these kind of things into the universe. So I think whatever just happened was probably a good thing, because I swear he was about to say year, and it was like,
yeah, and like hell no. It was like nope.
I mean, I really want them to legitimately, because here's the problem. You would like the idea of them getting rid of him and not going into another season. Clean state, start fresh. You know, this management team is going to want to get their own guy. But being how this season has shaken out, it's not over, and it should be over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I understand taking the time and due diligence to figure it out. So what we were saying, Shawn, and we want you to think about this before you say it, is be careful what you speak into the universe, because we thought you was about to say something, and that's why you got blocked. Like, ooh.
That's exactly what happened. They're like, get off.
Like, Shawn, no, Shawn. That's why you got boot him off, boot.
Oh man!
Don't be speaking that nonsense into the universe. That's like crazy. You know, it's interesting because I do believe in being tidy about things. Like, I don't like when people fire managers like in the middle of the season. I was like, look, you're not about to get somebody who probably about to right this ship, especially if your team is mediocre. Let's be honest. If you fire this joker right now, it isn't like your team is exactly going to change the situation that they're in. So for me, I'd rather let the season end, get rid of him, but have access to other coaches. I'm always going to, and people are lukewarm about Mark Jackson. I've always had this thing about give Mark Jackson a try. I don't know why people are anti that idea, but they keep forgetting that he was very much a part of what the Warriors are before Steve Kerr got there. He was part of that. And people always seem to be remiss and forget about that altogether. So I'm like, go get a coach that this young team can respect.
Mm-hmm.
An NBA veteran, a winner. You know what I'm saying? Go get someone they can respect. Don't go get another young guy. Because let's be honest, I've had enough with young, inexperienced. We've tried that. Thibodeau might have been the biggest success we had in getting a guy who was like an assistant head coach and stepped in. But see, that was a bumping of heads. What's interesting is this current management group might respect what Thibodeau wanted to do.
Right.
So timing was everything about his time with the Bulls, unfortunately. Garpax just did not. Pax probably more Gar Forman more than anybody else did not want to let Thibodeau do his job. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this new group, I think, has a whole different mindset. I just don't want another green person because I need somebody I feel these players can respect. I don't want any more train on the job people. There's enough of that going around as it is. No more train on the job. Go get somebody who's competent enough to take this talent and use it for what it is.
You were so bold to say playoffs at the beginning of the season. Why can't you make the playoffs next year?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, here's the thing. When I say make the playoffs, I mean, I felt they could have made the playoffs this year, but like as an 8th seed. I wasn't putting them high in the list. I was like, they should be good enough to be an 8 seed team. I felt like that. And that
hey guys, we just got some breaking news. It was one of the top of the morning topics that we didn't get to. The Toronto Blue Jays were looking for a stadium. They got nixed from Pittsburgh, and Jason Palmer from What's Up Cuz has told us that the Toronto Blue Jays are going to play their home games in Buffalo. Rhode Island was trying to get them there so they can play it in Providence, but Buffalo, probably maybe University of Buffalo, who knows? But that's come across the board.
It's interesting because they really weren't wanting Buffalo. That was always on the table from what I understood, and that wasn't obviously for their fan base. It's, I guess, closer in a way than going other places. So, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to the game anyways. Unless you're going to Buffalo, cold ass Buffalo to tailgate. But
not cold. It's not cold now. Give it about.
No, it's probably
weeks
still.
to be cold.
It's probably a little brisk in Buffalo still. Seriously, because it's up there. I feel bad for them. The fact that, first of all, I told you, Toronto is just them damn Canadians. I tell you, they just could be so.
If they win the World Series, does it really belong to Toronto?
Yeah, it does. It's their team.
You know what I mean? Like they kicked them out.
You kicked them out. You wouldn't let them play.
Like it should be the Buffalo Blue Jays.
The Buffalo, that kind of has a ring to it.
Yeah, right.
The Buffalo, they should take a no. They can't do that because there's a logo like that. I'm like, take a little Buffalo and put some wings on it. But that's Buffalo Wild Wings. That's what their logo looks like, right?
Yeah. You can make another Buffalo with different wings. You can different logo.
Some different ways. Buffalo could have a ring to it. Buffalo Blue Jays. I still want the Expos to come back. I was actually an Expos fan. I was.
I like them too.
I would enjoy the Expos coming back. I really would. But you know what? They deserve to have a place to go. Like that. See, that to me would be very unnerving. That you're already playing under duress as it is, like a different situation, and now you don't have a home base. You know what I mean? That's just like. So I hope they do have
nads.
Right. I hope they have a good season. Just because just because this for them, this has really turned into a bigger issue than necessary. All because Toronto. Jesus, I swear to God, Canadians. But I swear. That's why the Raptors were gone. They weren't trying to be ahead of the curve. They was like, they own some monkey business up here. We about to leave.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Hey, well, listen, guys. Sorry, Canada. We're done talking about you guys because we're done talking for the week. Man, 2 hours has come and gone. We actually went a little over. I want to thank Bob Nightingale from USA Today Sports. Their Major League Baseball columnist who came on and spoke with us a little bit. Didn't he say the White Sox win the World Series again?
No, he did not. Bob did not. No.
I thought okay.
No.
Okay, apparently he didn't say that. I was wrong. I've been wrong once before. Then I want to thank Brandon Scoopy Robinson. We just got off the horn with him for calling and talking NBA action. Man, it was. We appreciate your guys' time. Also want to thank our social media guy. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Clarence Council. He is a social media posting fool. That dude, man, he's got as soon as things come up, he's on it and they post it on our site and on the app. So big shout out to Clarence. We want to thank our butt man himself, Elliot Baez. He is the butt man. Butt man. We just call him
Kramer. Yeah.
Just call him Kramer. Ass man. But it's like broadcast on. It's BUTT is an acronym, but that's what we use, and he keeps us running, gets us on the app and everything. So our butt man, our ass man, our Kramer, big shout out to Elliot Baez, and of course our Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, who's up there on the upper right of your screen, the Wiz himself, Ivan Vargas. Thank you very much, we appreciate it. And to my lovely co-host with her Peg Bundy, Peg Bundy scheme behind her, I love it.
I told you, I'm channeling my inner Thundercat. Stop calling it Peg Bundy.
That's Peg Bundy, Maya. I just need you to walk in like this.
Anyways.
Oh man, guys. So for my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife himself, Ivan Vargas.
See you guys next week.
And Little Savage herself, my lovely co-host, the co-pilot in this insanity, Maya Akai.
3 words for you: get the app.
Please get the app. Yes. Guys, I'm your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra. I will be at the beach tomorrow in Michigan.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Taking my face off for a little while, then recovering on Sunday. We'll see you back on Monday, and Monday 9 a.m. So make sure you're here. Make sure you download the app. And I don't know if we mentioned it. Download the app. Until then, we'll see you.
Deuces.
We out.